Before you sign that contract on the brand new construction home here in McDonough, Georgia, I want you to ask yourself one question. Are you buying the house or are you buying the deal? Because right now, with builder incentives and rate buy downs, it can feel like an easy decision, but there are a few things you really need to think through first. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what you should know before buying new construction in McDonough. We'll talk about some of the downsides that don't always get discussed and what's actually happening inside these communities right now, and how your decision today could impact you later when it's time to sell. Make sure you stay until the end because one of these could save you thousands of dollars down the road. I'm Joanna Myles. I help buyers relocate to McDonough and South Metro Atlanta area, especially when it comes to new construction. And I want to go into this with clarity, not just excitement. New construction is everywhere in McDonough right now, and honestly, it makes sense why so many buyers are drawn to it. You've got communities like Windsong Estates, Anderson Point Estates, Cooper Park, Gates at Pates Creek, Trinity Park, and more to come. And builders are offering strong incentives, lower interest rates, closing cost assistance, sometimes even flex cash that can really reduce your monthly payment. So on the surface, it looks like a great opportunity, but what I want to do is help you look just a little bit deeper beyond the incentives so you can make the right decision for your situation. The first thing you need to understand is what it actually feels like to live in one of the neighborhoods while it's still being built. Now, location-wise, most of these communities are in really convenient areas. You're close to grocery stores, restaurants, and shopping. So that part is great. The difference is what's happening inside the subdivision itself. If the neighborhood is still under construction, you're not just moving into a finished community. You're moving into an active construction zone. That means trucks going in and out throughout the day, noise from building and equipment, homes being framed and finished around you, and sometimes empty lots right next door. And dependent on the community, that can go on for months and even a couple of years until everything is completed. So yes, your home is brand new and your day-to-day environment may not feel settled right away. The next thing, and this one is big, is thinking about what happens when you go to sell. If you buy in a neighborhood that is still being built and you need to sell within the first few years, you're not just selling your home, you're competing with the builder. And the builder has a huge advantage. They can offer lower interest rates, closing cost assistance, and brand new inventory that hasn't been lived in. So if a buyer is choosing between your 2-year-old home or a brand new one just down the street with incentives, most of the time they're going to lean towards the newer one. That doesn't mean you can't sell, but it can impact how quickly your home sells and sometimes even your price. Another thing to pay attention to is lot sizes and overall space. In a lot of these new communities, even as you move into a higher price point like Gates at Pates Creek and Southern Hills, the homes can still be fairly close together. The lot size doesn't always increase the way buyers expect as the price goes up. So you might find yourself with a big, beautiful home, but less backyard space and less privacy than you imagined. When you compare that with many resale homes in McDonough, you'll often see larger lots, more distance between homes, and mature landscaping, which can really change how the home feels when you're living in it. Before I go any further, if you are relocating to McDonough or Henry County, I do have 2 free guides that will really help you. One is the McDonough-Henry County Relocation Guide, which walks you through neighborhoods, parks, restaurants, shopping, and what life actually feels like here. The other is my new construction guide, which explains the entire building process, builder incentives, and things you should know before signing a contract with the builder. You can find both of these linked in the description below, and they'll help you move forward with a lot more clarity and confidence. Now let's talk about timing. If you're building from the ground up, there are a lot of moving pieces that can affect your timeline. Weather, materials, permits, all of these things can cause delays. Even with homes that are already under construction, timelines can shift. So if you have a specific move-in goal, whether that's tied to lease ending or job relocation or getting settled before school starts, this is something you want to factor in early. When considering new construction, think about the big picture of the area around you. When you buy in a newer community, you don't always know exactly how everything nearby is going to develop over time. That open space behind your home today might not stay open, and it could turn into more homes, additional phases of neighborhoods, or even commercial development depending on zoning. With established neighborhoods, you already have a track record. You can see how the areas have grown, how the values have held, and what to expect. With new construction, there's a little more uncertainty, and it's something worth thinking through. And finally, another thing that catches a lot of buyers off guard, especially with new construction, is property taxes. When you first go under contract, the taxes that are showing are often based on unimproved land, not the finished home. So what happens is your lender has to estimate what those taxes will be once the home is fully assessed. And sometimes that estimate comes in lower than what it actually ends up being. So after you close and the county assesses the property with the home on it, your taxes can increase, which means your escrow account may be short. And when that happens, you can see your monthly payment go up because your lender has to make that difference. So it can feel like you were comfortable with one payment when you bought the home, and then later it adjusts higher than expected. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy new construction, but it does mean that you want to ask how the taxes are being estimated, plan for potential increase, and make sure you're not stretching your budget too tight on the front end, just in case. Now, I want to say this clearly. New construction is not a bad option. There are real advantages, especially with incentives and lower maintenance. I help buyers with new construction all the time. The goal is just to make sure you're choosing it for the right reason and with the full understanding of what to expect. At the end of the day, this decision is bigger than just getting into a home. It's about your lifestyle, your timing, and your long-term plan. And when you look at it that way, it becomes a much easier decision to make. If you're thinking about moving to McDonough or anywhere in Henry County and you want help figuring out whether new construction or resale makes more sense for you, all of my contact information is right here on the screen. You can call, text, or email me anytime. I'm always happy to walk you through your options. And don't forget to download those guides in the description. They're going to give you a really clear picture of what to expect before you make your move. If this video was helpful, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let me know what questions you have or what you're trying to figure out. I do read every comment, and I'll see you in my next video.